What's up everybody, welcome back to Water Warrior Fishing. I want to start this video off by thanking all of my day one supporters and all of those who have recently come on board. No matter how you found me, your support is very much appreciated. Be sure to leave any comments or any feedback you have on my videos. I'll always reply to you. That's what I'm here for, is to interact with you guys, teach you, and learn from you as well. Thank you for being a part of Water Warrior Fishing. Today's video is a rod and reel arsenal. So all of my setup as I start 2017, what I use to catch fish. I have 18 at the moment. 18 setups is a lot to talk about. So I've broken down everything into categories, and let's start out with my spinning gear. All of my gear is average cost. I'm not the guy who's out there buying all this expensive gear. So pay attention guys, if you're looking for something that's not gonna hurt your wallet too much. You know, I'm a broke college kid, so that's how that goes. These are all my spinning setups, guys. I've got 6 of them currently. Looking to upgrade that, get back to my finesse roots this year. But anyway, first I've got a 6'6" medium heavy Bass Pro Shops Extreme Rod. I've had this for years. I don't buy them anymore. I've found better products. With an Okuma Kmar C30, it's a medium size reel, fits a lot of line. This reel is $40. This rod is $100. Same for all of these extreme rods that I'm going to show you. So 6'6" medium heavy, that's for my moderate Texas rigs, lighter jigs, things of that nature. All of my spinning gear, I tend to spool with a light braid to a fluorocarbon leader. And I find that just enhances my sensitivity, and you won't have to worry about line twist. That braid will fix that issue for you. So that's one, 17 to go. 17 to go. So then we've got the 6'8" medium power, fast action, Bass Pro Shops Extreme Rod, and a Shimano 2000. I think it's the Symmetry, the 2000 size. And this reel was given to me a long time ago. Shimano product's pretty good, a little overrated if you ask me, especially on their lower price stuff. And then I've got another one, same thing, same size, power action, but it's paired with a Browning Aggressor. I bought this on eBay for like $30. It's been one of the best reels I've ever bought. I bought it years ago. So that's number 3. So moving on, those guys are kind of my backups. These are what I use pretty much every trip. You'd be very surprised to learn that I own this, but this is a Berkley Lightning rod. This is a $40 rod, guys, and this is my favorite setup of all time. I will throw this over anything I own. And then I've got it paired with a Bass Pro Shops Mega Tournament. The rod is a medium light, 6 foot. So it's great for skipping docks with slider heads, small shaky heads, finesse jigs, anything of that nature. It's a $30 or $40 reel, and this thing has lasted me since I was 13 years old. 10 years, $90 investment, you can't beat it. Then we've got the Boyd Duckett Ghost Rod. It's a 7 foot, medium heavy power, but it doesn't feel like it. It's super light. I love this. It's very strong. I've caught 6-pound bass on this. Love this setup. Strong, light, durable. And the rod is $100, the reel is $40. So you're looking at $140 for a very quality setup. I rigged this with 15-pound braid to 20-pound fluorocarbon, believe it or not. For the last spinning setup, we've got a Kistler Magnesium TS 610. It's medium heavy, extra fast action. And I use this for shaky heads, moderate sized jigs, pretty heavy Texas rig. This rod is so solid, it's so sensitive, it's unbelievable, honestly. I want to do a review on this, so look for that soon. I already did the one on the Boyd Duckett, go check that out. Same setup here, 15-pound braid to 20-pound fluorocarbon. You will not miss a bite on this one. One of my favorites as well. So that does it for the spinning. As you could tell, I had nothing too expensive or special, but I don't really care about that expensive gear, what's hot on the market. I care more about what's going to give me a value for my money. That being said, the rest of my collection is all casting gear. So let's start out with the medium heavies. This is the first medium heavy setup, 6'6", St. Croix Premier, and it's paired with that Pro Qualifier 7-to-1 gear ratio. All of the casting reels I use are mostly high gear ratio because you can always slow down, but you can't make up for speed. So just remember that. Then we've got a Bass Pro Shops Extreme Rod. It's a 7 foot medium heavy fast action paired with another Pro Qualifier. It's a 7-to-1 as well. That brings me to this one, which is the Berkley Lightning rod. Yes, another Berkley. This is the Lightning shock rod, and this was their upgrade on the Lightning rod. In my opinion, it's not stiff enough. It's not sturdy enough to use for worming, but I'd say it's more of a moderate. It's paired with a Bass Pro Shops Extreme reel. They're older ones, so if you're familiar, this is a workhorse. Same thing with the Corrado Bantam that they don't make anymore, and it hasn't failed yet. So I love this setup. It's great for your spinner baits and chatter baits, has just enough give to set the hook on those baits. We've also got another St. Croix Premier 6'6", medium heavy, fast action with a Nether Pro qualifier, so same thing. And then we're gonna move on to the Daiwa Tula, and this is a product I've come across within the past year. The Tula is just an immense improvement over any of the rods I just showed you. So this is a 7-foot medium heavy power fast action rod, and it's got insane backbone, insane sensitivity, titanium guides. It's just an all-around great setup. I've got it paired with a Daiwa Tula Type R reel, high speed, 8-to-1. I'd like to invest in a bunch more of these. For the money, you can't beat this. You're gonna spend a little over $200 for this setup. Completely worth it. That does it for the medium heavies. Moving on to my heavy setup. I'm ashamed to say I only have 2 setups in this area. I'm definitely going to be upgrading and getting some more flipping setups for this year. And the first one I have here is the Garcia Vendetta. I bought this many years ago, paired with a Garcia Revo S, which I believe is 120. I'm not even sure. There are rods out there for the same price point that are considerably less heavy, and this is a pain in the ass if you're flipping and pitching with this all day. And I really like the Garcia Revo S that it's paired with. I run it with 65-pound braid in that heavy cover. Handles big fish and it's very sensitive, so in that way it's very nice, but too heavy. Then we've got a little bit more expensive setup here. This is the Carrot Sticks Wild Orange rod. It's $100, which is awesome. It's probably a quarter of the weight of the Vendetta. It's paired with a Corrado 201 E7. Just with the reel alone, I believe was over $200. They discontinued it. Both of those setups handle really well. I would prefer the Wild Orange over the Vendetta though. Now let's move on to my favorite, all of my cranking setups. If you guys have been following the channel, then you know I'm a big crankbait fan, and that's recent for me. I used to be finesse and slow and just boring. Now it's crankbaits because they catch big fish and they catch more of them. Like I said, if I find something I like, I buy multiples. So I've got a few of my favorite setup for cranking, which is the Powell Diesel 705 CB fiberglass cranking rod. I find that these fiberglass rods give me a bit more give. They're more forgiving, and they let the fish inhale the bait all the way. I don't lose as many fish on the fiberglass. The Powell Diesel, he comes in at $79. I pair it with Daiwa Tula Type R. Some of them I have 6-to-1, but mostly it's 8-to-1, but you can always slow down. You're spending like $200 for that setup. So I've got another one of those. Same thing. I've got another Powell 705 CB rod that needs a reel for cranking as well, and any trebled moving baits. This is the Dobbin's Fury 705 CB, and I find it to be almost an exact replication of the Powell Diesel, except the Fury is a bit thinner, it's a bit lighter, and it's a graphite composition. So a little bit higher modulus, doesn't have as much give, and I haven't had as much experience with this one out on the water yet, so I don't know how that graphite modulus is going to affect my hookup rate. But I can tell you that I don't feel like this rod handles my bigger deep diving crankbaits as well as the Powell Diesel does. This Dobbin's Fury is paired with a Pisca Fun. What is Pisca Fun? I was on Mikey Ball's channel. Mikey Balls, shout out to you, bro. I love what you're doing down there in Florida. He did a product review on the Pisca Fun Kylin reel, and it's a 6-to-1 gear ratio. It does the job. The products coming from Pisca Fun are great. I love their braid. I love their Kylin reel. Pisca Fun is a company to look out for. It's a quality product for very cheap. If you're in the market for a cranking reel, and you want to spend under $80, it doesn't get any better. So shout out to Pisca Fun. You guys, if you reach out, I'd be glad to help you out to get out there and sell the way it could and the way it should. Then we've got another Pisca Fun Kylin reel. And I've got this with a Daiwa Tula. This is a 701 MRB. It's a 7-foot medium power regular action. The regular action is a mix between fast and moderate. It's just in a weird place. It doesn't have enough give for the crankbait, but it has too much give for worming. It's kind of in the middle. It's weird. Sometimes I just don't know what to throw with it. So I mix it up. Sometimes really light Texas rig, sometimes moderate diving, moving baits with trebles. That does it for my arsenal. All of my setups I just talked to you guys about, all 18 of them. Hopefully I did it in a way that taught you something, gave you a little bit of the price point, and hopefully you learned something today, guys. So that's what I'm working with now. I'm sure by the end of the year I'll have a lot more, and I'll get back at you guys probably next January with another rod arsenal video. Thank you so much for joining me on Water Warrior Fishing. Be sure to like, subscribe, spread the word. Thank you for your support again, guys. It's much appreciated. See you next time.
So